Right, fingers crossed this sounds alright and it's not awful. I am using the Elgato Game Capture to record both the audio and the FPV downlink, which is why it's flipping on off a little bit. So this is the SNL OWL OBS screen, OSD screen. The camera is on, it's just got a cap over it at the minute, so that A, you can see the text better, and B, you don't see me. When it goes no signal, that's when you would ordinarily be getting snow in your goggles. In fact, actually, I can unplug my goggles for now, I think. So this is the first screen to get me to turn it on. Obviously, some of it's in Chinese, some of it's in English, and some of it's in random numbers. So, depending on what you've got running into this, I've got S-Bus running in, so we're looking at the right-hand column. If you had PWM, or PPM, sorry, running into this, you'd be looking at the left-hand column. So what we need to do in our radio is make sure that we have two switches, because it's kind of like the FI41 in the fact that it has a master switch and then a slave switch. So your master switch has like return to launch, apologies, and something else on it. And then if you move the switch to the middle, it listens to the other switch, and that has three other modes. So I have channel 5 set to switch C, and that's for master switch, and then I have channel 6 set to switch D for now. I'll move them around because I want everything to be the same, so I want them to be the same as an FY41, for example. And all I've done so far is had everything in the middle and flicked the switch C. So what I'm going to do is throttle up. You see it's moved channel 3, there is going to be some delay. Then I'm just going to move the flight mode switch. So I'm going to throttle down and move the switch. Aileron stick left, with the switch. Elevator back. Oh shit, rudder. I don't have rudder, that's fine. Fungal, that means toggle, sub mode switch. Once I have done that. Aha! And now we have an on-screen display. No satellites, or anything like that. That's not surprising because we're inside. Got 4 volts, no amps. 8 milliamp used so far. The motor spun up. Currently, it is in normal wing mode, I think. We're going to have to figure out how to change that. Let's go on to my mobile phone where I do have the manual open. Let's have a look. So yeah, so you have the mode switch, which is switch C. All the way away, it's in manual. That goes to the middle switch. And all the way down is stabilised. And then the sub mode switch, you have, so put that in the middle, you have altitude hold, return to home, and circle, apparently. Okay. Now, aux channel, you can blah 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 blah. I don't actually know how you get into the menus. Pardon moi. Slightly concerned. Oh, is this how many flights it thinks it's done in the bottom left? If I pick it up, oh no, that is tilt and roll. I see. So if we go running clockwise from the top left, we have what I believe is RSSI, which won't work because I've not got that wired up. Some sort of timer. You've then got the mode, so you can see circle and then return to home, and altitude hold. I'm going to have to remix that switch to work in a different way. Got the compass across the top. In the top right, we've got the voltage of the battery, how many amps are being used. Yeah, you can see some amps are being used. You've also got something in the bottom left which I don't fully understand. And then 10 milliamps have been used. I'm not sure which is speed and which is height based off the two sides. I can probably read the manual and find that out. No, I can't. Okay. Bottom left, where it says no at the moment, will be where your GPS position is. Bottom left is how many satellites you've got, with the satellite icon. To the right, I believe, is the temperature. Further to the right, you have pitch and yaw. In the middle, you have your flight distance, so where it says 0 kilometers at the moment, is that. And right in the bottom right is distance from home. And I think up from that will give you like a vario. But I can't be 100% sure because I can't see that as of yet. But I have at least something. Slightly concerned it says like 50 degrees. Nothing there feels warm, so that's good. I'm going to have to watch some more Alicia Mayo, unfortunately, to try and figure out how we get into modes to change things. But I'll be back very shortly. Okay, so I've figured out how hard or easy it is to get into the menu. Your main switch is switch C in my case. You just go down, up, and you go into this. Now it concerns me slightly that that's how easy it is to get into the menu, and you could be flying around all of a sudden you're changing things because you've changed your mind on the switch. But let's go to base function by just putting right aileron in. Airframe type it says is T-tail, which isn't right. So I have to right aileron again. Wing, that's right. No. Now the autopilot direction, I've actually got it the right way around. This is 0. I believe in the manual it does tell you. I'll have a look at this just to show you guys. 270, 90, 180. That's fine. Base gain of 50 out of 100, that'll do. Servo. Whoops, I'm going to flight mode by accident. Whoops. Get back. All of these numbers on the left hand side are also detailed in the manual, so you can figure out what's happening. So if we go servo, 1 aileron. I'm not actually sure if this is direction or if this is gyro direction. So if I put in, oh, it's going to be a bit hard for me to do. If I put in left right now, it's the wrong way. If I do this and reverse it and then come out of it. Okay. So yes, this is doing what you would normally do on the radio. So now I actually have them both going the same way, which isn't right. So if I go down one to elevator and aileron to go in, then up elevator to reverse, then the left aileron to come back out. You can give you a little bit, you can see what happens. So left aileron, right aileron, up, down. That's now right. You can also do expo in here if you want to, but personally I would suggest to do expo in the radio. There's a delay on my screen, that's the problem. Trim, 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 range. So you could calm down it here. I'll be honest with you, I don't know why you would really do that in here. To the point where I'm even going to and I'm just going to reverse them in here. So I'm now doing the reverses in the radio. Okay, that's now right. I'll be honest with you, they're going to need calming down. I'm going to need to put some dual rates and have about 50% because my ailerons at the moment are ridiculous. So one thing that I have discovered, apologies for the interruption there, is that if you change the direction in the radio instead of the menu, the joystick inputs for the on-screen display go back to front. So instead of right, it goes left on the menu and things like that. So if we go back to the base configuration, now everything's going the right way. This is right. I'm going to go to servo. And I'm going to have them both reversed in here. So now they now work as they should do. I'm not bothered about the auxiliary channels for now. Expo, I'm not bothered about. That I don't see there being a problem with doing it in the radio. Same with trim. I can see why you might want to put trim in here for the simple fact of if you lose radio contact, it's not just doing it all off of gyro, it moves the neutral points where it should be. Again, this menu is so easy to get into, you can program that, and also with the Radio Master telling you what amount you've put in, you can easily put it in here and then do minor amounts of checks from there. Range, again, I can see why, because in order for the joysticks to move, you have to have it all the way over to 100% in order for an input to go through. So if you want to calm your servos down, you could do 1.316 and 1.317 there. But I'm just going to do dual rates on the radio. So if we come out of there, flight modes. So this is where you can set up all your flight modes. So as I say, have your positions and then your sub positions. Kind of wish I knew how this was at the moment. But I'm going to set them up one way around. If needed, I can always reverse the channel in the radio. So I want it to be, I can't remember how it's set up on the FY41 actually. I know return to launch is on the main switch. So if we return to launch, yeah. What was the other one on the FY41? I can't remember. Is it circle? It's possibly circle. I can't remember. I'll be back very shortly again. My apologies. Okay, so with the FI41, you have return to launch in one direction. In the middle, you have look at the other switch mode, and then all the way up, you have like a 3D position hold. So if you have it, to 10 degrees pitch, roll or whatever, it'll keep going like that. Fixed altitude flight, I think it was called on the FI20 ones. But the idea is that this one, it sort of keeps it going. And I want to try and have again everything the same. So looking at the different flight modes, with the SNL, you have manual, self-explanatory, stabilization, which is auto leveling, horizon, which is acro mode and stabilization mode. So that allows you to do loops and rolls while also being stable, which is okay for some people. Return to home is return to home. Hover is altitude, hold, and cycle, which I'm fairly sure means circle, not cycle, but never mind. We also have AH, which is aircraft hold, altitude, and flight route. Fixed RUD, which is keep on the route. Acro, which is gyro mode, so just gyro stabilization. And sub mode, which means look at the switch. So, the one that I want off of there, I believe, is AH for the other one. If I go down to 1.4.3, whoops. Sub mode. And this one, I want to change to okay, that's not a mode. Okay, so we've got acro, stabilized, horizon, heading hold, altitude hold, circle, turn to home, sub mode. Okay. So let's do altitude hold then, because that's maybe what AH means. Altitude hold, okay. Then for other positions, at one end, I want manual. Manual. The next one, I want stabilized. Oh wait, is the one that... Oh no, it's just an issue with the picture. Okay. Okay, so the next position I just want stabilized, I presume. Stabilized. Let me just check the manual again. Stabilized is auto level. And then, what did I want the last one to be? Auto level. Let me go back to the FY41 manual. Oh, that one was 3D hold. Okay. So what do I want then? I've kind of got a spare switch because I've got confused. So let me grab a piece of paper for some back of a napkin. Jotting stuff down. So we have manual. I'll tell you what, let's go through it based off of what's on the screen. So we've got stab, which is stabilized. Horizon, which based off this is stabilized, you can roll. head. And I presume that just means heading hold. That's possibly what they've changed fixed rudder to. Heading hold, which makes more sense. Alt, which should be heading and height mode. Circle auto circle, sometimes known as loitering on other autopilots. Return to home. This is return to home. Manual. Pass through. Acro is gyro assistance, no leveling. And then we have stabilized again. So I'm not bothered about acro. I want manual, I want return to launch. I'm middle on circle. I kind of like heading and altitude mode being separate. Horizon, which is just stabilized that you can roll, I'm not bothered about. If I want to do a roll, I'll flick into manual mode to do it. Although, nice, I like to be able to crane the stick over and not go mad. So, the ones that we've got left are manual, which we need, return to home, which we need. Actually, we've got switches for the other three. I'm not bothered about circle, because if there's something that I want to have a look around, I'll manually fly it round, you know. The only time I ever see circle being useful is, let's say, for example, you're going for a distance run, and you forget something, like you realise you're on the ground, you realise your radio's out of battery, or your receiver battery's low. You can put it in the circle so it doesn't fly back, but it holds there, doesn't do anything. You can swap batteries or whatever and then carry on the mission instead of having to come back. But don't really see me. Whereas stabilised, oh, we need manual as well. Oh no, manual is there. So we could have, on one switch, we can have return to home. The middle will be sub mode. And the other one could be alt hold, because that will hold heading and altitude and be kind of like a 3D lock. Then the other one we'd have manual, stabilized, and heading. Because what's good with heading is that, say for example you're going for clouds, you can know that you're pointing in the right direction, not wibbling and wobbling about, but you can control when you go up, through and down, below it. Okay, so we can set that up. So I've already done the one switch, the 1.4.1 to 1.4.3. So the other ones, I want manual, stabilised, and then heading. Again, if these are the wrong way around, I can just reverse the channels in the radio. And the signal will come back to me. Maybe because my hand's in the way when I do it from there. Altitude stabilised. I want heading. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Heading, there we are. So heading should just do heading, altitude do heading and altitude. So that's fine, because it kind of builds. So it's from manual, which is no stabilization, to stabilize, which is stabilized, and heading, which is stabilized, and direction holding. And then the other ones are more autopilot-y, more than just stabilizing. So return to launch and altitude hold, which also does heading hold. I like that. I like it a lot. So that means that we can come out of this menu. Battery warning at 3 volts. What can a LiPo battery go down to? I don't honestly know. Don't really know what to suggest. Unfortunately, I've actually thrown away. I had some batteries delivered recently, and I've thrown away the paper that comes with them, unless. Or was he shredding them or something? Oh no, there they are. Overlanded it. They know what we're talking about. Talk about overcharging. No real. Not saying minimum value, which is kind of annoying. 3 volts I feel is a bit low, but to be honest with you, I'm going to be going off of the milliamps used anyway. We'll ignore that one for now. Aux. Aux 1 non. Motor. Servo. Oh, RC7. Oh right, I see what this is. We'll set that to none then, because I'm not running anything else. Oh, dual throttle rudder, throttle. Elevator. Aileron. RC10. 8. 8. 7. Servo. Motor. Stop. Right. That's that. Learn RC. Let's do this again. So I'm going to put everything in the middle. I'm going to flick. I'll just put all the switches in the middle. Throttle up. Throttle down. So instead of moving it up then down the switch, I'm just moving them in one direction. So aileron left. Elevator stick back, which is up. Rudder stick left. Ah, the reason why is because the rudder isn't set up in my radio. Okay, that's fine. I'll just flick the switch. Oh, I'm going to set that up for the radio, that's a ball ache. Toggle submode switch. Yeah. That says channel 6. And there we have some sort of on-screen display. So if I now toggle it quick up and down, we get back to here. We've done Learn RC. Failsafe mode, return to home, that's right. Renew home. I guess that's to reset your home point. That's fair enough. Data format. Done. Okay. So, okay, let's go into advanced function now. Oh my god, stabilizer game, max roll angle. Oh, so this is for your flight mode type of thing. So, control angle rate, I think, is like how fast it will allow you to rotate, I think. Stabilizer gain, not interested. Maximum roll angles, this is when you're in a mode that doesn't let you do stunts. The maximum angle it'll let you go to, 55 degrees is about what I'd expect. You return to home altitude, so you probably want this as low as possible. But you want to make sure you can clear stuff, so 150 is about right. Circle radius, so that's how big the circle is, I think 50 is about right. Minimum ground speed, so that's how slow it'll go before it panics and things. Takeoff speed, cruising speed. I think that is how low the throttle will go, again I'm guessing at these. Cruising max for 85, fail-safe time. Now these, I think if you're set at 0, means that they don't work, unlike the FY21 where if you set it to 0 and just move it, it locks out and freaks out because it thinks it's within its geofence, which is stupid. But I think if this is at 0, it means it won't act, which is fine for me. So look at sensor. Cali level. I think that's meant to mean level. Oh, the Chinese. So I'm going to hold plane level. I think that's been done. Calibrate the gyro. And possibly me holding it isn't the best idea because my arm's starting to get tired now. Okay, calibrate the battery, not that bothered about that. Set battery cell count, it is a 3-cell plane, so I'll leave it at 3. Calibrate the compass. How do we do that? Maybe it's not going to calibrate the compass because it doesn't have gyro. Calibrate RSSI, not bothered about that, we don't have it connected. OSD. Horizontal offset. PFD style. Oh, signal, come back. Sort of forgot. Oh, I see why I'm having issues. The radio is between this and this. You go over there. And I've lost all signal. Which is even worse. What's wrong with you? There we are. So, black level, scope, GPS position, PFD style. I don't know what that is. That flight display. Vertical offset 7, horizon offset 35. Okay. Language is English, that's good. Unit is metric. What if they have an English mode? Because we have like a weird... Do not change the language. Imperial or metric. To be fair, all of my on-screen displays are in metric, and I don't really know what any of it means. Like, it'd be interesting to know because in England we have a weird combination, well, the UK, we have a weird combination of metric and imperial. Like, for example, in school you learn centimetres, millimetres, inches, no, not inches, metres, until much later on when you're like 14 or 15, then you get introduced to inches and things and how to convert them. Mostly it's just how to convert them into the thing that you should do instead. Yeah, when you're driving, it's in miles, which is usually why, when you're getting to a junction on a sat nav or Google Maps or whatever, it will use yards to there instead of meters because everything's in miles on the road still. So, for example, I don't know what a kilometre per hour is. All I know is 100 is roughly 60, and I can work stuff out from there. But having it in imperial might be interesting, so I can see it doing 300 miles an hour, which this won't do. None of my planes will do, sadly, yet. Yeah, that type of thing. We'll keep it metric for now, just to make everything a little bit easier while I try and deal with a new unit. But that is about it. So what I'm going to do is, if I exit out of here, let's check what our flight modes do. So looking top leftish. So, manual, stabilised, heading, and then we have return to home, altitude hold. That's the wrong way around, but we can fix that by just going to switch 5, which is what the main switch is, reversing it, and there in return to launch. That's altitude hold, that's heading, and I do believe we have just about cracked it. If I hold this what I think is going to be level, it's not bad. It may pitch up slightly, but if anything, I'd rather it pitching up than pitching down, he says. Maybe possible. Although, actually, from that level, it moves incredibly smoothly. I really hope that they carry on making this. Because if they don't carry on making this, I'm going to be really annoyed, because this so far has been quite good. Again, the only thing that it can't do, you can rotate it around its sort of what would be roll, so you can have it facing back to front or sideways or whatever, but you can't have it on its side, which I've got some thin fuselage plane, mainly the mini Skywalker I've got that I'd like to do. But that is my first experience of setting one of these up. I might actually go to the website of the people who make it. Where's the box? And order some directly from them. There's the box. There it is. What's the website? LeFeiRC. So I'm probably going to go on their website and see if I can order some more of these. That's weird. In normal stabilisation modes, I won't let you go. I think that's motor's going the wrong way, so I have to use a mini quad prop. Anyway, thank you all for watching this kind of slapdash video. Hopefully the audio is not too awful, because I'm filming it off of the inbuilt laptop mic, so I can use OBS to record the screen for you in a sensible way. One thing that I am going to do, did it use 53 milliamps already just doing that? I've been on for a while, I guess. I'm going to take it outside and make sure it can get GPS, and then from there I'm basically ready to put everything in this model, but I'll save that for another video. But thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Remember to like if you like. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. Any questions or anything. And if you enjoy this type of stuff, feel free to subscribe. And I'll thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.